combine those, you don't have to do the work of saying, oh, well, the JavaScript from this and the JavaScript from that. No. Yesod will just handle that for you. You just give Yesod widgets, and it will, compile, and with, I'm not sure if you need to turn on some middleware, but it can, minify your JS and cache things. So the widget abstraction is what lets you just write, I'm writing the calendar right now, and so here's the JavaScript for it, here's the style for it, here's the HTML for it, and then Yesod will take those components and put them together with the rest of the site in the correct way. And so widgets are just for HTML, not when you're serving other responses like JSON or whatever. And remember this default layout function, which is from the Yesod type class, will take in a widget and produce a handler of HTML. So usually what you want to do is you want to write a widget, and then you want to serve it with the default layout.
Default layout also will do CSS, or?
Should, yeah.
So that would be a different type then in that case? Or would it still say the same
So when
type?
it says HTML here, when it says HTML, like handler of HTML,
Yeah.
what that means is the whole package of HTML, JavaScript,
Okay.
and style. And I might have just lost my stuff. Okay. Well, anyways, I'll just write it on the board.
Did your laptop die, or?
No, it's just, well, my laptop went black. Actually, it just went to the login screen. I'm stupid. Okay.
Back.
Thanks. I was so excited that she was the whiteboard.
You could do both.
By the way, widget T is an instance of monad handler, which is kind of handily. Have you been counting how many type classes there are in Yesod? It's all about the type classes. So remember these, get Yesod, not found, redirect. You know how those are handlers? Well, it turns out they are also widget T apps. Because they're not actually handler or widget T, they are operations of monad handler. And both handler T and widget T are instances of monad handler. So any of this logic that you can do in a handler, you can also do in a widget, in the widget monad. Okay. I thought I had something that I must have put later. Anyways. Yeah, did you have a question? Sorry, okay. Any questions before we move on to Hamlet and sort of reach the conclusion of this? No? Okay. So Hamlet is the HTML language that Yesod encourages you to use. You don't have to use it, but if you're doing Yesod, you should, because it's cool. Hamlet looks like HTML, and you use quasi-quotes to embed this Hamlet into your application. In this case, you use the Whamlet quasi-quoter. I always think wham when I see that. Wham, Hamlet. W is just for widget. So that means that that expression will be a widget. Hamlet has variable interpolation. So this pound brackets. What can go inside the brackets? Take a guess. What expression?
Text.
Yes. Any expression that implements this type class, to markup type class. So if you have anything that's an instance of it, it just calls this to markup method to produce markup from your object. So any pure expression that evaluates to a type that is an instance of to markup. Closing tags are optional. Instead, you can just use significant white space. So since this is indented further than the paragraph tag it's underneath, it will be a child element of paragraph.
But it needs the new line?
It doesn't need the new line, but so look at this next slide. So here I've got paragraph, and then here's one child and here's another child. If you put this on the line preceding, then there won't be a space between this child and the next child. It's greater. So, yeah, but you don't need new lines. There's just some nuances about white space and stuff that I'm not going to talk too much about. So, type safe URL interpolation is also a part of Hamlet. Instead of pound, you use the @ symbol. Then you give it something of your URL type, the URL type for your application. In fact, it will accept anything that implements some other type class, and your URL type automatically does. So here, this link is going to send you to the GET request for this resource with this parameter. Make sense? Okay, so now we're ready. Let's actually put this into our app. So, what I want to do is create one more module. Modules plus. This is going to be our handlers module. We're going to import our foundation. And so what was the thing we need to generate? Get hello R, which is text to a handler do switch. So
Good.
oh, what did I just do? Okay, that's cool. I love when that happens. Default layout whamlet, and then we're gonna put our little thing, which was hello name. Oops, I want this on point. And a link. And the HF is going to be our hello resource with Hamlet, sure, as the argument. And the link text is Hamlet. Is that right? Sure. Parser. So, I need to turn on template Haskell and quasi-quote for this file. Almost.
Zero. Yeah, there's zero there. Line 2.
Oh, I do. So close. Module names and multiple files. No, there we go.
Data.txt.
Okay, so we need data.txt. We need to import Yesod for HTML and default layout environment. Did I do?
You're indented.
Yeah, I think 100%. Okay. Oh, and this is the file that we'll need to turn on string overloaded strings. I almost got that, didn't I? Whoa. So now our handlers module. Wait, why doesn't it say module? Did I delete that somewhere? Okay. So now we got our thumbs again. So our handlers module is going to export this because we didn't specify what it exports, but it'll export everything. There we go. Oh no, thumbs down. Over the string there. Almost got it. Over.
Also, they need an argument for getting
Now I'm getting that error.
Where?
Parser on the thing part.
Oh, that one that I had.
Yeah, that's funny.
where?
Where?
Sorry, what?
Where?
Where? Ah.
Oh,
Thank you.
that must be what I was missing.
We also, I think, need an argument on get hello, right?
Yes, I'm waiting for it to tell us that. Okay, so I sort of glossed over this on purpose because I wanted to get to it now. Where the heck does name come from? How do we know what this hamlet is allowed to do, or allowed to access? And the answer is that quasi-quotation is an expression, and so anything within the scope of that expression. And so, as was pointed out, we need to take in a parameter. How about a name parameter? How's that?
Can you write
Okay.
point free quasi-quotes?
What's that?
Can you write point free quasi-quotes?
Point-free quasi-quotes? I don't know what that would be.
Should I have to specifically name it?
Oh, you mean like give it a question mark and then it would be a function? I don't think so. That would be nifty, but I don't think so. So usually you're not going to actually use quasi-quotes. What you'll usually do is say Hamlet file, and then you specify the file, and then your designer is the one who writes these Hamlet files. Or if you're cheap, then it's you too. You do everything, but whatever. So normally you aren't going to write it in line. But you still need to communicate between you, like, okay, this is, I expect there to be a name variable, and then you just need to make sure that's in scope. Okay, so no instance for Yesod app. I think that's because in our foundation we have not declared that instance. So let's declare it. And we're not overriding any of the defaults, so we're just leaving it at that. Boom, thumbs up. Okay, we're almost there. In our main, what we want to do is, oh man, I keep forgetting this doesn't show my selection. It's still, holy crap. Let's try that again. Main. Equals warp end of app. Warp end is from Yesod. So warp end will take our foundation data type, and this is where right before you do warp end, you would do whatever IO actions you need to do to set it up, your foundation type, and then you pass it in to warp end. But what happened here? We don't have an instance for Yesod dispatch. So look at our foundation again. Whoops. So remember how we're using make Yesod data here? I changed it back at some point. But make Yesod data only does the first half. We need to do the second half. So let's do the second half. And the second half is we need to bring in our handlers so that we can do make Yesod dispatch for our app. And it's called resources app. resources app, remember, is just a thing that is brought in from make Yesod data. That's in our foundation module. Okay, naked expression. That's because we need to turn on Template Haskell. For this file. And we're almost out of time, but we're basically done. Not in scope, make this out dispatch. That's I was stupid and decided to qualify. Let's how are we going? Thumbs up. Okay. I think we're ready, guys. Are we ready? Let's push the magical play button. Link to your web app. Oh no, it's not found. Okay. What happened? Why is it not found?
No default URL.
Yeah, you're both sort of saying it. We didn't set up anything for the, the root